Hi, this is Jim Musser with Upstream Ministries, and welcome again to Views from Downstream. It's our 1 month anniversary today, and so I'm enjoying doing these videos. I hope that you are enjoying them as well, learning some things, and if you are, then please pass the word. Um, I want to talk today about why we don't seem to be changing anything in the way parents and the way the local church operates in terms of raising up young people to be lifelong followers of Jesus. Now, I have a counseling background, and one of the things that counselors will often say is the first step to solving a problem is realizing you have one. And I think that that is so true with the local church, is that there's a problem with how we're raising our kids spiritually. It's not effective by most measures. When you have 60 to 80% of young people after high school who've been raised up in the faith leaving that faith, that is not a successful percentage. It's terrible, actually. But yet, most of the time, churches just do what they have always done and continue to do it. And I think that's because we all think that we may acknowledge that there's that percentage. It's out there. It's been out there for years. Most church leaders, if they do any research at all, would know it. But I think there's this idea that we're the exception, that, well, that may be happening in a lot of churches, that's not happening in our church, that we're actually doing it successfully. We're raising up these kids and they're going to follow the Lord. But the problem is that there's no metrics by which they reach that conclusion. At least that's what I found, is that churches and church leaders and often parents have this idea of where their kids are after they leave high school, where they are spiritually, and oftentimes that is way off the mark. I remember many years ago, a young man that came to our campus ministry I had never seen before. He was a freshman, and he brought his youth minister. And the youth minister greeted me and thanked me for the impact that we were having on this young man's life. And this was probably several months into the semester. And I had never seen this kid before. And so I am wondering what's going on here. And this young man looks at me and his eyes are begging me not to throw him under the bus. And so I didn't. But it told me something about how uninformed pastors can be and parents can be on what's really happening with their kids after they leave their realm of supervision. A lot of times, the basis on which we may judge what a kid is up to is based on that they come home and attend church when they're home. And they may do that, but that doesn't mean that they're really following Jesus anywhere else in their lives. They're in essence putting on a show, doing what's expected when they're home, but they're doing what they want later on. And so I think we need to start paying more and more attention as church leaders and as parents, what's really happening with our kids once they leave our supervision and our influence. And I think if we get the truth, which I've seen over decades, is that they often aren't where we think they are. And we have to really come to that understanding. So I will leave it there at the moment, but this would be a good time for you to think, If you think your church is very successful at making disciples of young people, ask yourself, how do I know that? On what basis am I making that conclusion? And we'll talk a little bit more about that on Wednesday and look a little bit about what we can do to change that. So, in the meantime, have a great day, and we'll see you back here Wednesday.